Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Jupay. Is Nathan Crow. If you are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching us on TikTok, if you are following the conversation on X Spaces, and even watching us live on X, thank you so much for joining us. It's a wonderful Saturday, and we are bringing you this ahead of Croatia v Ghana. That's why we had to get on the pod and go live so we can get the things out of the way, and so we can all go and watch Croatia v Ghana a little later. This show is powered by Jupay, your number one money remittance service. If you have a need, meet that need via Jupay. If you're in the US, Canada, and the UK, you want to send money to Ghana, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, and you are thinking of how you can do it, Jupay is your number one option. It's the only option you should think of because it's easy to set up. You can download the app from the App Store, Play Store, set up your own account, set up the recipient's account. They can receive the money via their Momo or their bank account and snap that the money goes straight to them. No long talk, no glitches, no hold-ups, no hidden charges. Everything is absolutely brilliant. And what's more, you can even get some great rewards if you use Jupay, right? If you use any of the promo codes, Coach, Nathan, or Fento, you get a $5 discount on your very first $100 transaction. So think about it. This gets, even better than you imagined. If you've been using Jupay for a while, last weekend you enjoyed Samini in Toronto, and then you also had the cruise in New York, the all-white cruise party with Wendy Shea. So these are the wonderful things that Jupay will give you if you sign up to Jupay, and the goodies keep coming, and they are even better. All right, so you can sign up to Jupay and enjoy yourself. You can equally send us your comments. We'd love to hear from you. We want to hear what you think, what you make of the Black Stars so far. They take on Croatia tonight. What are your expectations? I say tonight in Ghana, but in other places it will be early evening, maybe afternoon, maybe morning. Nobody knows. You can send in your comments, and we'd love to hear from you. Coach Christopher Nimley is in studio with me. Coach, good evening. How are you?
No more imbeshi. Oh, no more.
No, let's get the show going, and then we welcome our friend and brother Fento, who we can all see on the screen. Exactly. We'll get to him in a second. Chris, let's go.
Hallelujah. Mi be pale, mi be pa, ami de mi be pale, mi be pa, ami de mi be pale, ami de mi be pale, Hosiana, mi be pale, solo non neo, afine solo non neo. Hosiana, solo no. Look at this one, he's following the song. Solo no, Avida solo, Avida solo, solo no neo, Avida solo no neo. Hosiana,
solo no.
Yo, what's about Kenya ke afine solo cry. Afine solo no cry. E back me minche.
Nakai.
Zebat one double shiono.
Amen.
When ho ni ma ho na ma ho. Boranche bohani je chelewo. No hani je chelewo pe betra ka ho han wo wala. Wala ke he jole. Wala ke minche, wala ke nile. Wala ke dwemo. Wala ke ni kasemo. Meno wa shitamo ne. Be ye zebat bele me Jupay ke obatashe. Anyame. Efe no bo wotwe ye. Yo wa job ono. Efe no ko wo ye. O ke zebat a job. No oba le oba. Oba fe wo gbe ame. The Black Stars of Ghana ye zebat ni bi ya no pepepe. Jomo keto kreku efe no yo wo ke jomo le. E ani jomo e bashia. E ani itu kachi. Cat. Coach Nimley neke imbos jibo bwenchole. Numo ket in kefe no yo wa job. Ona no bolo to no obe o hie. Mi hye son. Obe so be mi hye son. Na mo mi na ye ani ne. Na mo ne. Ona me richo. Nya ka fu amoda. She zebat ken nya keshi. Ni wo ba le wo ba. Ye Jupay no Wabanoba Yui. Ake Ghana v what? Croatia. Oba bote no me. She done oba bote me. Nibe come sake chake Black Star say no. Ni Carlos Quiros won go be wale. Won chabo no won kebake. Quiros. Carlos Quiros. Ani coach yen bene yale ala kanon. Sasa ko chake me come team me. Ani me come wa me session. Ni team anya dumo shoduba. When you want to defense on Sako ya here. Zebat ke won ya. Carlos. Boji boni wo useful. Na, okeka o ye Chicago no ba send here. Ke oversend keje America, keje Canada, keje UK. Hani Chicago beshi. Ana beshi e bi egbe Gamami. Anago mamami. Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya, South Africa. Efia Jupay je na yuso. Omono ba yuso Jupay. No ke ba send Chicago. Ke Ghana, Nigeria. Efia ni sako ke Chicago. Woke jo wa ba hani onutumo eshore. Yo abahani onutumo efe kokoti. Yo abahani onutumo efe agbodenche. Yake yo wa edafe no fe no. Odae odafe nyungo fe. Odae Jupay odae odafe amefe. Jupay odafe amefe. Yo ajobo nu ditankwa esugba mi awon lemi.
Amen. No, let's get the show cracking. Let me welcome Fento Tahiru. He was singing along because of internet issues. His verse was a little delayed, but that's fine. It's all Fent, how are you doing?
Doing well, Nate. How are you guys?
We are fine. Belated happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
How did the birthday go? I saw pictures of an alleged barbecue. It didn't look like there was something happening, but that's fine. How did the birthday go, my brother?
Yeah. I mean, it was a normal working day. Went to the Black Stars training, then press conference. By the time I got done, it was probably like 7 p.m. ish. And then I got invited to a barbecue, so I went there with Kawawa and a couple of other friends. So it was actually kind of nice. And then I think the
Kawawa is Moluwa, na padi Kawawa it's Moluwa, then Kawawa. It's more sausage it's more sausage wa Kawawa. The wallu, it be all rough Kawawa.
So that was that. And I got home around like midnight. To try and sleep up and rest for today, because today's going to be a long day.
Yeah,
it's being a very cloudy day, Nathan, and the projected weather is that it's going to rain the whole day.
Wow.
And so far, all 3 matches on match day, it's rained. So I don't know whether that's an omen or what, because against Canada, it rained the whole day. And it's usually summer, the sun is bright, but then when the match day comes around, it's really like, it's warm, but it's going to rain. It's been raining in pockets this morning, and the projected weather is that it's going to rain for the rest of the day, even during the match. So don't be surprised to see a lot of people in those plastic bags trying to prevent themselves from being wet. But I think that's that. But yesterday, going around town, saw lots of Ghanaian people. You know, Philadelphia is strategically located. It's between New York and then the DMV area. DMV area basically means DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And there's a huge Ghanaian community in that area. And then you go up north, you have New York, obviously, and New Jersey. New Jersey shares a border with Philadelphia, so it's New York as well. So it's much easier for a lot of people to get here. And all those that missed the Boston game because that's further down south, all of them have targeted this match. The good news is this is also a much bigger stadium. It's 69,000 capacity stadium.
Okay.
So you expect to see a lot more Ghanaian fans in this game than we even did against England in Boston. So by and large, I think it will be an amazing day of football. What I've picked up is that obviously tickets are sold out. All the people that are retailing tickets are basically reselling them at marked up prices. But from FIFA's point of view, the whole 69,000 is sold out. So I expect to see an even bigger crowd in this game than we did against Boston. And if that's anything to go by, then we can expect the Black Stars to have a huge support base behind them. I still get goosebumps from thinking back and looking at videos from the Boston game when the Ghana national anthem was sung. And I think that within the week, anybody who has seen the internet would have seen that Philip Boho was receiving a lot of funds for the national anthem, because that was a powerful rendition. And I think it feeds into what everybody's been saying, that I wish our players could also just sing the national anthem the same way the fans can do it. Because the way the fans sang that national anthem, the passion would huge. Because look, you couldn't hear the music and the instrumentals of the national anthem in the Boston Stadium. It was just the voices of the people.
Wow.
And for me, that is one of the loudest I've heard the Ghana national anthem sang in any stadium. And I've gone to Babayara, where it's 99% Ghanaians. But I think what I saw at Boston, the pride with which people rendered that national anthem, I still get goosebumps. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I would say big shout out and big credit to all the fans that sacrificed, spent a lot of money to travel around the United States. Some travel all the way from Ghana to come here and support the Black Stars. And that's our cue for the national football handlers, the FA, and the government of Ghana to see just how much passion that comes with this team, and then see how they can invest to give the fans even more worthy experiences of this nature, because we can't always just wait for a World Cup to come around before we start to show that we care. Look, the people of Ghana, they love their football. Look at the passion with which Coach Chris speaks about this national team. He's followed the national team for a long time. All of us, we followed the national team for a long time. What would it take to just build a more consistent national team? And the way to do it is invest in infrastructure, invest in youth football. Because trust me, what the World Cup does to the country, I don't think there's anything that comes close to unifying this country as much as the Black Stars have done. It's the only thing that brings all Ghanaians abroad, wherever. It doesn't matter which country you live in. The Black Stars, the World Cup, it brings this country together in ways that nothing else could do. So it's our cue. I really hope. But, the point is that I sound like a broken record, because we've done this 4 previous times and yet nobody did anything about it. We just wait for another 4 years to come around. But brother, what we are seeing, the scenes, bro, it's crazy. And it's not just even the fans and the sacrifices people are making. It's also the opportunities that is given to a lot of people. This World Cup, look around you. Look at people are selling jerseys. Jerseys are being sold out here and there. It's not, bro. It's crazy. Businesses are opening up, even for journalists. Panditry opportunities, travel opportunities. Fans move around. They reconnect with family members. There are people that planned to reconnect with each other at the World Cup. It's like, oh, Ghana, then families reunite. Bro, it's amazing what football does, bringing people together. So please, I hope that we are able to take advantage of this, to build something more sustainable.
Okay.
Because we haven't been able to do that from our 4 previous appearances. I hope we can do that this time.
Well, we'll see. Also joining us is our very good friend and brother and another member of the band, Mr. Daniel Cranting.
Oh, Chale! Oh, Chale! Oh, Chale! Oh, Chale! Oh, Chale! Charlie. Hey.
Daniel, how are you doing? Your sound is not too clear. Okay, we'll have to. I don't know if we can reconnect with Daniel. His sound, Chris, can you hear him?
It's a bit of.
His sound is not too clear. But anyway, we'll get to Daniel in a second as we try to fix.
I think it's from his end, so if you can.
Okay, all right. Okay, we'll try and see if we can fix Daniel's sound, right? Because we are getting.
I
some
think he's trying to
terrible feedback. I think Daniel, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, I think he's trying to sort out his headset. Daniel, can you hear us?
Yeah,
Okay.
he can hear, but we cannot hear.
We can't hear him. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. I'm sure maybe it's from his end.
Because he's using China headphones. He used proper one. He can hear me, but you see my own. You see my mouthpiece is here. It is loud and clear. Coach Chris can hear me. Coach, you can hear me.
Oh,
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you clearly, very clearly. DK, your boss say you are using China earpiece.
But friends, whilst we wait for Daniel, just just tell me how the vibe is like in the US. How are people receiving, or how are people taking in and reacting to the World Cup in there? Because a few weeks ago, I was reading write-ups on some very credible portals, and people were saying that they didn't know what was going on in some parts of the US. Others had a vague idea. The people in New York were waiting for the Knicks to win the NBA championship before they start thinking about the World Cup. But what's the flavor like in the US now? Are people more aware of what is going on? Do you have more Americans being a bit more receptive to the fact that there is a World Cup being played in their country?
I think, Nathan, by and large, we can say that the World Cup while the World Cup is being hosted in America, the competition is a global competition. So people really don't care whether Americans are involved or not. The bottom line is the stadiums are being filled, and 10% of that can be Americans, 20% of that can be Americans. No one cares. There are enough Ghanaians and Croatians and enough expatriates in America that are interested in football that will fill the stadiums, even if the American public itself isn't very concerned. And I think that is one beautiful thing about football, because they call it the beautiful game, the global game. That's football. Because if you look at the expatriate population in America, it's huge.
Yeah.
So, and those are all from footballing countries. So like from Africa, from Latin America, from South America, they die for football in those countries. So if you come to Philly and an ordinary fan in Philly and an ordinary American fan in Philly says, I only care about the Eagles, that's okay. And that is perfectly normal. There will be still in Philly who are from all these football-loving countries that will fill that stadium, that will give you the football atmosphere. And that's what we've seen. We've seen a lot of countries with different jerseys. Look, the day I got in here on Thursday night. That Thursday night, Curacao played against Cote d'Ivoire. Mm-hmm. The whole city moving around. You could see people in Curacao jerseys and Cote d'Ivoire jerseys all around, and they really didn't care. So, well, for the ordinary American, they may not be interested in going to the stadium, but they certainly would have seen people moving around in those jerseys representing those countries. And Curacao and Cote d'Ivoire was also sold out in the same stadium that Ghana is about to play Croatia. Yeah. I have a friend who's coming down from New York in a train today. He sent me a video. There were lots of Croatian fans in the train coming down from New York to come and watch the game. So that's the thing. So I think for the American public itself, yes, I'm not exactly sure that they still consider football such a big deal. And I would not be surprised if an American citizen says, I don't know if the World Cup is going on. Also, depending on where their commute is. But certainly on match days, there's enough evidence around every American city that something is going on here, that the World Cup is going on, because you would see lots of people, very colorful, in the various country jerseys, always going to the World Cup. One thing I can say, though, there's proper World Cup fever in America. That much I can say. Local pubs are being flooded with foreigners from countries that are participating at the World Cup. Last week when we were in Boston, Scotland had played there 2 days prior. The beer in Boston was sold out, and they were ordering for more beer because they were increasing production capacity to try and fill the pubs. And you go into the pubs and it's filled with lots of foreign fans. You understand? So for me, I think businesses are feeling it, hotels are booked up, and it is very clear that the World Cup fever has fully caught on here. And whether it's with the American public or not, certainly the fever is very hard to miss.
Quite interesting. Daniel, can you hear us? Let's see if we can get Daniel on the line. Okay, it looks like Daniel can hear. We can't hear Daniel. I don't know if the issue is from his end or our technicians will have to work it out. Okay, it looks like it's from his end. Chris, let me bring you in. Let's
Nathan, before you go on, he started with white headphones that
he had the black one.
It didn't work.
He had the black one. He had the black one on first. Then he switched
and then he changed to white. Didn't work.
Maybe he's gone too late to go.
He had gone back. This why he bought from Tiptoe Lane. Tiptoe Lane. They've written the JBL. They've written JLB. So now
he can hear. So he's like. You see what your boss they do to you?
JLB. So now the thing is not working.
We can't hear you.
Anyway, guys, let's talk about let's get into the build up to the Croatia game, right?
Oh, I really wish we could.
Yeah, we have to.
Okay, work on your thing. Work on your thing. We cannot hear you.
We have to hear Daniel speak.
I have a solution.
Okay,
I
think he's working on it, so we can continue.
No, I have a solution.
What's
so
the
I propose it.
What's the solution?
Daniel's room is next to mine. You should just come to my room. That's all.
Okay, then DK switch.
Yeah, Daniel,
DK, if you work, I'm giving you 2 minutes. Quick. If you cannot get it done quick, you have to move to his room. Quick. He's agreed.
You should just come and sit next to me. It's easy.
Okay. All right. All right. As we get into that, Chris, let me bring you. Let's talk about the end of or in between what has happened after we played England and today.
Yeah.
Right. There's been talk of, some people in England being unhappy with the way Ghana played. You know, they said it was ultra defensive. Declan Rice has commended the Ghanaian team. Thomas Tuchel, your very good friend, says that was a very solid defensive display, one of the best he's seen in a while. Yeah. Your own thoughts on everything that happened or some of those things in relation to what you saw v England as we lay the blocks to, preview the game against Croatia later today.
Okay, so Nathan, you and myself, we had a chat here about the England game, and you sought my view as to how I think the Black Stars will line up and how they will play. And I came out with a very clear conclusion that without a doubt we are going to sit off them. We are going to demarcate a zone. We are going to make sure that the pressing will be done when they enter the zone of press. I was very clear in my thoughts that clearly we will not do the high press, because if we do the high press, it means we're to push high up the pitch, and there will be huge gaps in behind our team, and they will exploit with their pacey players. I felt that there had to be a balance between the mid press and the low press. But what I didn't see the team do was to make sure that they go or they adjust the sort of medium press was more or less a shadow press. Okay. But the actual press was a proper low block. Okay. Now what that did for the team is to give the team what is known as a proper defensive line cover. Anytime the English and that tactically prevented the English from forming any form of overload on one side of the pitch. Yeah. Because wherever you are, because there were no space in behind us, you had a lot of Ghanaian players there. Through the middle, they were there. Yeah. On either side of the flanks, they were there. Yeah. In the box, we were outnumbering them. So that was a tactical masterpiece on the part of the technical team. What, again, it told me is that it further concluded that in a game of football, if you can build your team in such a way that you don't need more than a goal to win football games, it means you're on the right path. Okay. Believe you me, that game could have gone on and on and on and on and on. And the Black Stars would have been the team to score. I told somebody this, I better hit the bar. And I told them that the pole does not move. If you hit the bar,
goalpost is an immovable object.
It is stationary. So if you hit it right to go in. Who told Hurricane not to hit the target? I didn't say that. But that was the only major opportunity they had in our 18-yard box. Yeah. The other one was the Saka in front of the D, saved by Benjamin Sarri. So clearly that would have awoken our boys. If there were more times to be played, they would have been so much aware and quickly would have prevented that. Again, I saw something very evident. And as for this one, in fact, DK doesn't know, but this is one of the fundamental reasons why I'm happy he's on the board today. Why? The issue of Jordan Ayew. You see, the fact is that if what we are seeing is what is actually being done, then clearly Jordan will have to start from the bench.
Against Croatia?
In all our games, moving forward.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. The man is not ready to change. He's not ready to adapt to fit in the system of the team. Nobody can argue the fact that this is a transitional team. Later, when we say a team is a transitional team, Their best weapon is what? Exploiting the spaces that will be made available by their opponent.
Okay.
And normally, the midfielders of those teams don't fancy passing the ball to the feet of their attacking players. The passes are directed to be put into space. So naturally, again, tactically, again, the transitional team thrive on pacey wingers. So that if you are to pass the ball, you don't give it to them. You put it into space. And let's see how well they can exploit their pace to get the job done. So what I am saying is that Jordan was so instrumental in qualifying this team to the World Cup. I had a stand on Thomas Partey. My stand was that despite the very inconsistent form of Thomas Partey at club level, despite the fact that most people doubted the controller, which was very shocking to me, because if you are doubting the controller and you've got players like Michael Essien, Suleiman Taris, Timmy in your fold, then it is allowed. But when you are dealing with Sibo, Elisha Wusu, Kalem Yirinchi, who is still learning on the job, you don't doubt that player who's saying it all. Okay? I had a stand on Partey. My stand was that whether he's had a bad season or not, he's an untouchable in the team. Therefore, the technical team should structure the team in such a way that they'll get the best out of him. Because when he plays, the entire team play. When Partey is on his A game, he's in charge of the situation. He's in charge of the game. Unlike the Jordan situation, he was super fantastic during the qualifiers. But after the qualifiers at club level, his form dipped drastically. We've taken him to the World Cup. He's the captain of the team. I believe that he's so much a footballer, so good a footballer that he should be able to adjust to the way a team plays. If he's sticking to his own way of doing it, to the detriment of the team, then he must sit down. And therefore, the technical team would decide when it's best to introduce him into the game. Nathan, we have qualified. After today, our next game is a knockout game.
Yeah.
What you don't want to do is to chase a game. Me, I really want to see this Black Stars team concede the first goal and see how they respond. Because if you're a coach and you are testing the temperament of your team, how battle ready they are, you should be able to allow, or you should pray that they experience the different types of what? Footballing situation. And one of such situations is to concede and see how they respond. One of the situations is what we saw against England. You are playing against an opposition that we all believe is better. But tactically, how well prepared, how well drilled are you to combat whatever they are doing? We saw that, and they passed the test with distinction. The other situation was to play against a team that everybody knows you are better than, but because of your form going against that team, we were not sure of what were to happen.
Yeah.
You stood in there, maintained your composure, and got the job done. So the next situation I want to see, DK, I think we can hear you now. We can hear you now.
We can hear that.
Yeah, we can hear you now. So the next situation I want to see is to see the Black Stars concede. I don't want to see that happen in the knockout stage where they will concede and will be on tenterhooks.
Yeah.
If they are to concede today, I'm not saying I want them to lose the game, win, but I want them to win the game from a losing position. And let's see how they do it. Now, if that is established and they've experienced the three possible situations, then going to the knockout stages, you know what to expect from them. But if they don't concede and we are playing like we are playing, then we are going to be in big trouble. Big trouble in the sense that we may have to score to win the game. What I hate is to lose games on penalties. But I'm also a coach that says that you should stay in there for as long as you can. If by staying in there, it means you should take it to penalties, so be it. I hate losing through penalties, but I also don't want my team to lose the game in open play. Okay? That should tell you my way of looking at things. So on the issue of Jordan Ayew again, Nathan, I believe Jordan is so intelligent that with the backroom staff we've got, they should sit him down and say, look, these are your limitations. You will not outpace any center back in the tournament. He's not going to run past any center back. 2, you are very good with your back to goal. But this is what we want you to do. On the hold-up play with the midfielders that is in front of you so that they will do the distribution. But if you hold up the play such that you hold it up, even when we can all see that there's the simple, obvious pass, and you ignore, and the only time we see or we feel your relevance is when you are fouled. I beg to differ.
Okay, all right.
Because if you can hold it up, link it up, and then we spread it to our pacey wingers, and you then turn around and join them, who knows? You score. This is his 3rd World Cup. This is Jordan Ayew. He's had only 1 shot on target in 3 World Cups. Is he looking at all these? If he's looking at it, what can he do to improve upon it? I think this is the 3rd and most probably the last. Okay? We've got today's game. We've got another game again in the round of 32. Mm-hmm. God willing, we may get a round of 16 games. Yeah. I don't know. But let's begin to get the young man to acknowledge the fact that the way he's striking, he's the one making life extremely difficult for himself. And not only for himself, but for the team. So let him play to the strength of the team. Has he the quality, the ability, the knowledge, the technical know-how to do so? Yes. I sincerely believe he's refusing to do so. Because Jordan, a ball let try in such a way I can catch it and block here. If I need tie him, if I need tie him party, I don't tie him Kellerange. Now make belly me hand winger say. Come make belly me look at John here. No, your box me. No, your box me. A cutback, you are a very good striker of the ball. A lot. And then one more thing on him. He may be the set piece specialist in the team. But Jesus Christ. When the ball is around the center circle, inside the center circle, along the center, what is he doing there? Anybody at all can balloon that ball the way he balloons it. Young man, go in the box. Get there. Who knows? It may drop for you and then bang in the back of the net. And then you begin to register some positive goals to your name.
Okay.
So far, so good. From the technical team, I am impressed simply because I knew this is what they were going to do. My worry was how difficult it was going to get them to play defensively, focus, and get the job done. But as we progress, Nathan, we need to show a bit more intent going forward, and we need to score goals.
Okay.
I think Semenyo tournament starts from today.
All right. Interesting. You believe
that is the prediction I'm making.
Okay.
I'm saying that Semenyo scores his 1st World Cup goal today, and then he takes it into the round of 32.
Okay. We'll get into the game itself. I think we talking about the game itself, really, just different angles. Daniel, let me bring you in. I think you fixed your sound. What have you got to say concerning Jordan Ayew? He's still splitting a lot of opinion. I saw the numbers after the Ghana-England game, right, about how much work he did on the defensive, the pressures, the work he was doing in stopping England from causing all kinds of problems. But a lot of people, and coach has highlighted that there's still this other side which we all want to register him, or the other side that which is a requirement. As a forward, you have to impact the team offensively. You have to score. You have to let us see what you are doing on the offensive side. Your thoughts on Jordan's performance so far, and are there things he can do to improve? Are there things he must do to have better impact on this Black Stars team?
Nathan, the thing is, yes, it's true. Forward players are supposed to score goals. That's their primary responsibility. But then I also ask the question, give me a Black Stars forward who has better numbers than Jordan Ayew in the last 6 years. The point is, the way we set up our team is always going to cause our forward players to struggle offensively. Their numbers are never going to be pretty because of the way we set up. We've spoken about Jordan Ayew's 1 shot on goal in how many World Cups? How many shots has Semenyo got this competition? How many shots has Semenyo got from the last World Cup where he played to this one? Point is, it is the way we set up. And you see, when you go into tournaments, for me, I don't like to dwell on the individual and what their their general role is supposed to produce, because tournament football is based on a plan. So, for example, I go back to 2018. Yes, on paper, Olivier Giroud didn't score a single goal, but nobody can tell me he was not a huge part of that French attack. He was basically the one linking up everything. He didn't have the goals, he didn't have the assists, but if you took him out of the team, you would realize that there was an issue. Obviously, there are degrees to everything. I'm not saying that Jordan Ayew is Olivier Giroud, but in the context of Ghana, you can understand what I'm saying. The point is, it is a plan. Jordan and Semenyo and Iñaki Williams didn't decide not to be making runs when we got the ball. In fact, there was something I pointed out when we were watching the stadium with a couple of colleagues. The first time that Iñaki ran forward from the right-hand side, Partey picked him up with an overhead pass. He was caught offside. There were two scenarios after that where Sanaya won the ball off Gordon. There was space in front of Iñaki, but Iñaki did not move. He stood still. And that was clear instruction. Partey kept on screaming at Semenyo not to go too much and to watch the run of Reece James. Constantly screaming. The point is, the instinct is there for you to move forward. We can all see that this is a chance where you're supposed to move forward. But if you don't understand the plan and the instruction, that's where there will be the thinking between you and the coach will be a bit off. And for me, the simple explanation is go back to the post-match press conference when Carlos Queiroz explained it. He said the team had no interest going forward in the first half. The first half plan was to contain and frustrate. It wasn't to try and catch any team on a counter-attack. And when they realized that spaces began to emerge, then they brought in the players who could punish those spaces. So the point is, judge the forward players on the job that was given them in that first half, not the ideal job. Judge them on the job that was given in that first half. And what was that job? What was the job that was given them in the first half? Was to be defensively sound and block as many passing lanes as possible, close down as many spaces as possible. And I think Jordan, Iñaki, and Semenyo did a fantastic job in that first half. Yes, it wasn't pretty, but there was a reason why England kept on passing the ball from side to side to side to side. And I had a very good view of the game from behind the post. So in the first half, I was watching it from behind Benjamin Asare. And the synergy between the three of them and the press that they were putting at the front line, it was so much on point. Obviously, Partey was the one behind them, conducting them and controlling them. But the point is, there was a job and there was a set of instructions. The fact that there's space doesn't mean you should run into the space because that's the ideal thing to do. You have to stick to plan, especially when you are playing with a coach as meticulous and experienced as Carlos Queiroz. Yes, spaces may occur. And we saw in the first half, there were times when on the left-hand side, Gideon Mensah tried to exploit that space. So he will run into space. But as he was running, what happened? Jordan will move from the center and come and close down there or cover him while Semenyo will go with him. And it's not because Jordan is foolish and doesn't know that he's a striker and he should go into space. It is because there's a plan. And that plan will only backfire if players get overexcited and they feel they can exploit spaces. But in the second half, when the spaces started becoming larger, we saw a bit more
adventure, if you like.
Adventure and proactiveness going forward. And even with the substitutions, because I always say, you pack your players, your squad with as many specialists as possible so that no matter the tactical context, you can bring in a player who can solve that issue. So there's no player on this earth who can do everything. Partey cannot tackle the way Sibo can tackle. He doesn't have the heart and the legs to close down spaces as quickly as Sibo can close down spaces. And Sibo also doesn't have the intelligence to spot where the ball is going to be the way Partey can do it. So it's a teamwork. So you see Partey calling out to Sibo to close down maybe 5 yards. And then you see Sibo making a certain movement. And then 5 seconds later, the ball is coming and Sibo picks it up. That's Partey's brain working with Sibo's with his heart and his strength. So it's about teamwork and it's about the job that has to be done. The moment we saw that England started becoming desperate, what did the head coach do? He took off Jordan, he took off Iñaki, he brought on young adventurous forwards in Isahaku and Prince Edu Kwabna, who could exploit the space and could punish. And that's where we created our two best opportunities. So for me, it's about the job. It's not about how ideally we want the team to play. Because I used to say this thing a couple of years back. Jordan, and coach has said it, Jordan is a very solid, versatile, intelligent footballer. And if you decide to play in a way that will bring out his attacking potential, and we saw it in the past 2 years, when the team was basically built around him, the offense was built around him. You don't top score, you don't have the most goal contributions in World Cup. Messi, more than Haaland, just because you are lucky. It is because there's something and you are good enough to produce those numbers. The guy is the third all-time scorer in our history. You don't score those that many goals in international football by luck. There's something clearly good about you, and there's a reason why coaches keep on playing him. The point is, if we decide to play a certain way, there are only a certain group of players who can go out and execute that plan, and the coach will use those players. But when he decides to change, and that was the problem from previously, when we changed, I'll go back to the opening game of the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire against Cape Verde, where we began to get momentum, we decided to spring forward. And then they made that substitution when they brought Andre on with Jordan. That clearly is not a smart move, because then the strategy requires players who are explosive enough to catch the opposition team on a counter-attack. So then the use of Jordan and Andre becomes very redundant. But when we see a head coach who identifies that, okay, it's time to change, and takes off Jordan, it doesn't mean that starting him in the first place was a bad thing. There was a job to be done, and they did the job up to a point.
Okay.
We changed, and there are players who can do a better job. So for me, in this game, it's not Jordan must start from the bench or Jordan must start in the starting lineup. It depends on the plan of Carlos Queiroz. The plan will determine the players who will play. The thing is, going back to the Partey issue, I also said that if we were going to play two midfielders, just as the match-friendly games taught us and the game against Wales taught us, Partey is not in the physical... he's not physically ready to be in the ideal physical shape to be playing alongside just one partner. He can't play in that double pivot. So if you are going to play Partey, you need an extra midfielder to help him. Doesn't mean that Partey is not good. But the point is, if you are going to play in a certain way, you may be setting up Partey for failure. So what does a head coach do? He adds an extra midfielder to Partey because he learned his lesson from the Wales game. That is smart coaching, and that's something that we were not seeing in previous times. Doesn't mean that certain players are not good. The same thing with Kwesi Sibo. Kwesi Sibo is not a controller. Kwesi Sibo is a destroyer. So if you put him in a game where he's required, like the Germany game, he's required to drop into the back three and build up from the back. You are setting him up for failure. And then people will say he's not good and he's not good. But if you look at the game he played against England, that is the exact game that has earned him a position in Real Oviedo when he was playing in the top tier of Spanish football. That is the player that they knew they were getting when they brought him in. And that's the player that Carlos Queiroz saw when he was putting him in the national team. A player who can attack spaces and destroy, run at opposition, cut out attacks, break out attacks, and do the simple thing. When he wins it, what does he do? Simply lays it off to E13 and Partey because they have the better skill set of progressing the ball. So for me, it's simply about understanding your players. And there's a reason why every player is in the team. Look, the last minute change that we made where he brought on Baba,
yeah.
England had now doubled up on the right-hand side. And it was like a split-second change. They had a corner, and after that, they made that change. And you could clearly tell that there were a number of players on Gideon Mensah. If we didn't change, something was going to happen. Because this is top-level football. You don't need 5 minutes for a tactical change to work out. It can happen in a split second. So what does Carlos Queiroz do? As soon as he identifies it, straight he brings on Baba Rahman to go and nullify that danger up there. Some will see it as, oh, he's just bringing it on. But it was proactiveness.
That was a super
you don't have
change.
To wait.
It was a brilliant change. Yeah,
that was a super
you don't
change.
have to wait for it to happen before you make a change. As soon as the thing happens,
wait.
And look,
Otuado wouldn't have seen that.
Again, on the experience of the head coach, he didn't care whether he had just brought on Prince Edu Kwabena.
No.
There was 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go. The opposition has more of the ball. They are likely going to possess the ball for those 3 minutes. And if you allow that change to work out, that change they've made to work out, we are going to be punished. So you nullify it as quickly as possible before it even takes effect. And he made a change and he brought on Baba Rahman. And the thing is, when he brought on Baba Rahman, we didn't see anything because it worked.
Exactly.
It worked. So we didn't see anything. And for me, it's just an appreciation of the squad that we have and the different profiles of players that we have. So again, I said it before the start of the competition. I was afraid, but because it's Carlos Queiroz, I have some small hope. and I'll give him benefit of the doubt. Look, the guy has been coaching longer than I've been alive. And if he makes a decision, the least I can do is to give him benefit of the doubt first. Wait to see if it works before I come and I give my opinion on it. I said before the England game that most people thought I was being sarcastic. But I genuinely didn't think that Jordan should have started based on how I thought the game should be played. Mm-hmm. But when I listened to the explanation of Carlos Queiroz, then you understand why the guy has 43 years experience. You need to frustrate an opposition for them to open up. Containing and frustrating was very important for him in order for them to open up. Because Thomas Tuchel he's not this overly excessive attacking coach. He's a very balanced person. And even in his setup, the fact that he put Jet Spence there meant that he respected Ghana and ability to hurt him down the line. So he had already started with a formation or a tactic to contain us. So imagine he had started Fatah Isahaku. He would have been tracked by Jet Spence and would have been completely useless in the first place. But we went extra defensive for him to now start introducing players to force the issue. And what did that do? It opened up spaces. Because I'll go back to just quickly before I wrap up, the chance where the two substitutes combined to cause that thing that should have been a penalty and probably would have been a goal if Semenyo didn't block it off the line. The Fatah Isahaku to Prince Edu chance where he was brought down by Konsa. Imagine if Jet Spence was on the pitch when Fatah Isahaku got the ball. He's automatically giving him 5 yards. He's not charging at him. And if that ball is released when Jet Spence is 5 yards off, Jet Spence is probably catching Prince Edu Kobna because he's quicker than him. He's catching him. But you wait for the change to be made, and then all of a sudden, O'Reilly, who has bumped forward, is caught in behind, 1-2 passes, and we are gone. The point is, the head coach has understood this team. The 2 matches that we've watched, look, nobody can tell me that not a single selection was not made by him. Because the timing of the substitutions, the starting lineups, the instruction behind the starting lineups, you can clearly tell that this is somebody who he has watched. When he said he was watching videos, he was really watching videos. And he wasn't just watching videos of them playing under Otuado. He was clearly watching videos of them playing with their clubs also. What he's done with Gideon Mensah, what he's done with Jerome and Ajeti. Most of us didn't give Ajeti
absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant
before the competition. But all of a sudden, even the way he's paired them up and the kind of instructions he's giving them, you can tell that in terms of touches, Jerome is getting more touches than Ajeti. So Jerome is more involved in build-up. If we decide to play from the back, because he knows that that's not the player's strength. But you go back to the match friendlies. When Ajeti and Sibo were the ones supposed to be playing from the back, that is setting up the team for failure, or setting up the players for failure, because not every player possesses every single attribute in the world. So for me, I'll give them benefit of the doubt. As for the Croatia game, we've already qualified, but I'm not going to sit here and say I don't expect champagne football. There's a record that I want us to clinch, and that's to be the first African team to qualify without conceding a goal. And for me, that will require a solid defensive structure. So if we can do that and we can keep another clean sheet, I'll be very delighted. But as for individual records in terms of Semenyo scoring or Jordan scoring, look, at the end of this competition, history will not, if Ghana should go far, reach a round of 30 to reach a round of 60, history will not remember Semenyo or Jordan as the strikers, or Isahaku or whoever the offensive player are the strikers who went through a competition and not scoring. It will be the team. The same way till now, when we talk about the 2010 team, we still give Prince Tego his flowers. What did he do offensively? But he was part of that team and he played a huge role in that structure. Every player in that team gets their flowers because it doesn't matter if it was 1 match or 3 minutes. Like Baba Rahman, I don't care if he played for 10 minutes or 3 minutes. The fact that he was there.
The point you're making is good. The point you're making is good. But Jordan should score. He should go and hit the back of the net.
Look,
he's a striker. We cannot limit Jordan to defensive. No, strike. I will go. I mean, I will go.
Guys, hold on. Can I say something?
Jordan,
guys, hold on. One at a time.
The player who scored 17 or 18 Premier League goals this season, the player who has been on the rise in the Premier, to whom match is given, match is expected.
Who is match given to?
if we are going to demand anything from any attacking player, then the pressure should be on Semenyo to score goals. Yes, because he's a clear. There's nobody who look at this Ghana team
Chris, I mean,
and tell me that Jordan
I don't argue too much
more
with
goals than
The point I'm making is that I'm not saying Semenyo shouldn't score.
Yeah.
I
So
said
if we are
this
going
is
to
Jordan
demand for any
10 World
attacking
Cup.
player-
He should score.
Yes. Okay, but Chris,
this is
okay,
this is Semenyo's.
Okay,
This is
Let
Semenyo's
Three
second
World
goal.
Cup.
Hold on, Chris.
He's not scoring a World Cup.
There's
It's a
a
problem.
Hold on.
And he's doing his job.
You finish.
I want him to score.
Later.
You see,
Later.
one of Jordan's biggest disadvantage, Fentu, just before he come, when we build up our play, his intent of getting to the box is very bad. He's always going to the right, going to the left to engage on unnecessary teams at times. Stay in the zone, demarcate and stay in the zone so that we'll pick you up there and score.
Yeah, but
Okay, I have a question for you, Coach. Coach, I have a question for you.
Okay, hold on.
Coach, I have a question for you.
Fantasy
Coach,
has a
I have a
question.
question for you. So when we pick up the ball in the attack, you said Jordan does what? He makes unnecessary runs.
No, I'm
gets out.
saying that he's too much. He's so much concerned in the build-up. When we are playing, watch him. The next moment he's on the left. The next moment he's on the right. There are times where, as a striker, you allow others to do their job and get to do your job, right? How many times have we not seen strikers limit their runs to make sure they are in the zone where they can punish? We cannot be saying that
so
we'll take a number 9 tournament. That we should be crediting him for his defensive.
I get you, Coach. No, Coach. I get you. So these things that you are demanding of Jordan, why aren't you demanding same from Semenyo?
You see, Semenyo is to be demanded, but he's not playing through the middle. He's playing as a winger.
I'm not finished, but
He's playing as a winger, right, Fentu? So as a winger, he can score. And then, as part of his job, is to drop back and help the fullback. What I'm saying,
Coach. The point is the reason
Semenyo
I
should
ask,
score.
No, Coach. The reason I ask this question is this:
maybe because
yes,
of the
everybody's
neighbor.
yes, but
Everybody
so the
can score.
point is that.
But
yes, but I don't see you.
I don't see why I should be depending on a striker who has played 3 World Cups and still hasn't scored a goal. And we should be.
But are you? Why aren't you? Hold on, Coach. Why aren't you? I think Daniel has done a brilliant analysis of the roles
of the roles
and instructions.
12 years ago,
so
what
I'm
was
saying
his
that.
You wait.
So no,
Eight
Coach.
years
So
ago, what was his
all
role?
I'm trying to add is that look, let's go back and look at. Nobody is saying that he shouldn't score, but he's 35 years of age. Okay, he's 35 years old or something like that.
Yeah, and Jordan is 35.
Hold on. Let me just make the point I want to make. I'm saying that Jordan is 34, 35. He's the oldest, most experienced player in the middle of the park. But also, it is very important for you to recognize and give him that grace that he has served for as long as he has served. Thankfully, in the same team, in that forward line, we have a much younger player who is more energetic, in better form. Also
But he's not playing through the middle.
Hold on.
He's playing as a forward
let me
from-
finish.
Okay,
This
Chris,
whole
let
thing
him
out.
finish.
This
Chris, let
whole
him
thing
finish.
of playing through the middle is inconsequential. Coach,
It is.
Go back to
Why
back
has
to
he
the
wrote 10
Liverpool.
and 7 to a striker?
Let me finish.
Chris, let him
go.
finish.
Coach,
Let him finish.
I want you to
Go
go
back
back.
Jordan Sani. I'm a small
Oh, Chris.
Yeah, we're Jordan Sani.
Oh,
It will go.
Chris.
Jordan it will go.
Chris.
How many?
Let him finish. Oh, Chris.
Every
Jordan
day Jordan
Fernandez,
is
one hour.
Jordan.
Chris,
Jordan
no,
is playing
see,
through the middle.
That's how you
Jordan.
are Thomas Partey and the Ben against Monday.
Oh,
Tabi 2-3 weeks ago, you are part of it.
Chris, let him finish.
Tabi hadn't
Chris,
finished.
but he did not let you finish. French will make your point.
So I'm saying that this whole idea of Jordan plays through the middle, Jordan must score. I'm taking Coach back to, and Coach has good memory, so he will remember. When the Liverpool front three played, Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, and Firmino, which of them played through the middle?
Bobby.
Good. Was he the one who scored the most goals?
No, he didn't.
Good. Who scored the most goals?
Even Jordan
Mo
as a winger didn't score.
So good. Hold on. So Salah, where does he play? Wide or through the middle?
You see, Salah was not scoring his goal by standing on the wing. He was inverting into the middle.
That is Semenyo. Is what I'm telling you.
No.
You are saying that white player. Why can't he score?
You see this. You see Fent and some few other people. When it comes to the issue of Jordan, you want to mechanically massage the issue. How so? Semenyo. Look, Semenyo. Oh, listen now. Semenyo.
No.
Abotala.
Okay,
No, coach. Let me just say, coach. All I'm trying to say is this, coach. Okay, so no, you coach.
How can Semenyo score if when Jordan controls the ball, he won't pass on Semenyo to go and score?
Okay.
How many times have we not seen Semenyo make the forward run and Jordan ignores him? Later, you man, Later, Mali. That means you just attest what I'm saying. How many times haven't we seen Semenyo made the forward run and Jordan ignored the pass? How many times? So, when we substituted him against Panama, we saw what happened, right? Eteshinokeno Yerenchi to Semenyo control, ba Asante. No, Adashi. Look.
All right.
Okay.
So here's my question to you. Coach.
He was there. That's the point I'm making.
Okay.
He's the reason. No, you see, we are not being fair. If we are being honest.
Tell him that when he gets the ball.
If we are being honest.
Control and pass.
You see, if we are being honest. If we are being honest, the only reason, see me, I don't want to pick on individual players or whatever. The only reason Prince Edu didn't score that goal is because Semenyo was there at the wrong place.
You see,
because the ball was going to score. He was offside.
You see your problem.
You see, but nobody wants to talk about that because we don't say that.
Talk about that.
Because it's not important.
Thankfully, you have brought that up.
It's not important.
If the boy was scoring the goal from the very first attempt, he scores. Semenyo came in to support when the team became a bit messier.
And then did the work. And did the work. True or false? Did the work.
Semenyo movement had taken to the post together with the England player.
If Semenyo wasn't there, it's a goal.
If Jordan was there, would he have been in the box? If Jordan was on the pitch, would he have been in the box?
If it was Jordan, who did that outside?
Been on the pitch, would he have even been in the box? If Jordan had been on the pitch, would he have even been in the box?
No problem.
Nate, I think what we need to do is, Nate, all I want to say is that it is 1 p.m. So we need to start heading out because it's game day and you need to be at the stadium at least 4 or so hours before the match.
Yeah.
So if we can wrap up on us and then we can leave. You see Danny moving around.
I see Danny moving. Yeah. Anyway,
so we need to go.
When you meet Jordan, tell him. Akashi, it will go.
Coach, I'll just say that. Coach, I think
one shot on target.
I think that
one shot on target is bad.
I think there's a lot of
others. You put the numbers.
Hold on, Chris. Let's fence
one shot on target.
Yeah, Coach, I think there's a lot. There is a lot of your criticism of Jordan that is justified, but I think there's a lot of it too that is slightly misplaced.
No. And this one, it can never be misplaced.
Hold on. When I say misplaced, you don't worry, Coach. Coach, you don't worry. Don't, Coach. You let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm
you guys wrap it up. We'll be back here tomorrow.
There's a lot of it. There's a lot of it that is justified. But there's also a lot of it that is
today
slightly
he should
misplaced.
Get to the boss. If he scores, I'll jubilate. I want to jubilate from a goal.
I know. But I'm saying that there are times when maybe I think Daniel did a really good job of explaining the roles.
Yeah.
And if you are being like really, really honest, you would understand that the point he made is very valid. That sometimes it depends on the role. That's why you will not see him running into the box
and then. The role is when and then putting.
Coach. There's a reason you won't find him running into the box and putting himself in positions where the pass will come because he's been instructed not to do that. He's been instructed to do something else, and we saw that. That's why I brought in the Liverpool front three. So if he gets to the knockout
stage and he's to run to the box to score because
no. Thankfully, Coach, you see, thankfully we have other forward players with that particular instruction.
So
and
now tell Jordan, tell him that when he gets the ball and the other players makes the run. I don't think,
but Coach, I don't think in the England game.
It's a fantastic player. Jordan is a fantastic player.
But Coach, I don't think in the England game. I don't think in the England game there was an instance where Semenyo made a pass.
No, I'm not talking about that game.
Good. So he's played too much.
But the conversation should be centered on the World Cup.
He's played 2 games at the World Cup.
Against Panama, we saw it against Germany, we saw it against Austria.
Forget about those ones. We are at the World Cup, and Daniel made a point.
Is what I'm saying that when he gets the ball, he should pass. What don't you get?
He will pass the
ball. But he did that against Germany, and you don't have any complaints. Why are you still going back to the Panama match? So Daniel said it is game by game. It's context.
So he shouldn't
Every
pass.
game
Which
and
game?
the plan.
Which game contest requires a striker not to pass the ball when he is given the ball? Which game contest?
But he didn't do that against Germany. You just said it. He didn't do that against Germany. So what's the issue?
I said against Germany, he didn't pass the ball.
Not Germany. I mean England. I mean England. No, he didn't do that against England. So what's the issue?
He didn't pass the ball to anybody.
No, against England.
All the
what
games
was
he was foul. He was foul.
No.
There were balls should have passed. I mean, you are. Many games
what was the issue with his performance against England?
You say?
All right.
That was
the
an
issue with his performance
right?
against England. Yes.
No, my issue with his performance against England then, on several occasions, when the ball got to him, after blocking off the defenders, he could have just laid the ball to the midfielders and let them do the distribution because his back was facing the goal. But he never did that. He didn't do even one of that. One of that guy, he didn't do it. And I was asking myself, when we had Didier Drogba and co holding up the ball, when Lampard and Ballack and Essien made a run through it, he gave it to them and then they went wide to the wingers. He went and finished the goal. It will go. I am giving him a simple solution to scoring goals. When you block off with his intelligent, fantastic footballer, pass it and free yourself and just join the attack. That is when we are to attack. Eba will go.
Okay. So Nathan, I think against Croatia, I think we can move it on, right?
Okay.
I mean,
who's in goal today?
What are your expectations? Hold on. Fans, what are your expectations of the game? Hold on, Chris. Let me ask my question.
Coach.
Can I ask my question? Fans, what are your own expectations of the game vis-a-vis the things you've heard and picked up concerning the mindset of the team ahead of this game against Croatia?
In the press conference yesterday, I think the coach was obviously asked about all those permutations on who could possibly meet in a knockout rounds, and he was very clear. He said he can only play one game at a time.
That's right.
He can't play two matches. At the moment, he only has one match, and that is against Croatia. Play that game, and don't worry about the next match after that. So my suspicion is that he will go into the game against Croatia trying to win. Trying to be as competitive as possible. We know who will play if we finish first, or if we finish second, or if we finish third. But I think the opposition really doesn't matter, especially if you finish first. It still becomes very complicated. But to finish first isn't only in our hands, because we can win the game against Croatia, England wins against Panama, and we still end up in second position. And if we finish in second position, we'll play the winner. We'll play the second position in Group K, which is either Colombia or Portugal. If we finish third in the group, we'll still play the winner of Group K, which will be either Portugal or Colombia. So honestly, in terms of who we play, the opposition we play, finishing second or third wouldn't make much of a difference. It will still be either Portugal or Colombia in that scenario, unless DR Congo do the unthinkable and then win by a huge margin to leapfrog and then one of those teams loses by a huge margin, and then they leapfrog that team into second position. I think the main issue really is about venue, because you finish second, you play in Toronto, you finish third, you play in Kansas City. We know one of those scenarios will be without Thomas. The other one will be with Thomas. And I think that's why a lot of people have been very concerned about and have suggested that there's no need to go and put up our strongest foot and then go and possibly lose and then go and play against one of those teams in Kansas City. But I think the coach isn't thinking about any of that. He says that he's going to, because we know that in tournament competitions, like you have to be ready to face everything. Momentum. And you have to be, exactly. And also we know what winning can do to teams' confidence. Yeah. So if you can beat Croatia and get that in the bag.
Before you go on.
Yeah.
I beg you, it's an emergency. I've texted you to check and then continue.
Okay. Let me just check what Daniel sent to me.
DK, Charlie, make fresh you.
Yeah, DK. You can put it in front of my door, and then you guys can set off. My room is 249, so you put it there. He's trying to. They are leaving, so he's trying to leave something in front of my door.
Okay, no problem.
Well, because even I also have to leave.
Yes, we'll wrap it up with you in 2 minutes.
Yeah, so basically for me, I think it will go into the game trying to win. We know Atizigi is fit. at the moment. Yesterday we watched him in training. So it depends what the coach will decide. But I think and I suspect that there will be some changes in this game. Because there's only about 3 players who haven't kicked a ball at this World Cup just yet. Gaston Boache hasn't played any minute at this World Cup. Ali Dissedo hasn't played any minute at this World Cup either. And then I think Lucas. And then Lucasen, Christopher Nimili's best friend, also has and then Opompe Pra. So those 4 players, I think, haven't played any minutes at this World Cup just yet. So you can tell that. And this is what just makes nonsense of all the conversation we had about quota, because you see, in the end, every single player has proven to be very important. And the coach, and then the other goalkeeper, Josevano, obviously. So 5 players. But in the end, I think by the time we leave this competition, every player would have had some minutes. It just tells you that every single person that was selected for this World Cup had a job to do, had a role to play, not just come sit on the bench and get some money because they think that we use all 26 players. I think we'll probably end up using all 26 players at this competition. But bottom line, I think we can expect a really strong performance from the Black Stars team. They would want to go in and win because winning gives the team confidence, and it doesn't matter what comes next, because what comes next, the coach will find a way to try and win that game as well. And if it ends up being a trip to Toronto without Thomas, the coach has a job to do. He has to find a way to be competitive even without Thomas, because even if we finish in 3rd place, this is what people are forgetting. Even if we finish in 3rd place and we end up playing in Kansas City and we win with Thomas, we'll go back to Vancouver, but still in Canada, exactly, which will also still be without Thomas. So there is no avoiding Canada if we want to go far in this competition. Yeah. There will be one point where we'll have to do without Thomas. So, I think the earlier the better. I don't know, but bottom line is, I think I believe that we need to go into the game trying to win, be as competitive as ever, because winning gives a team a certain confidence and a certain momentum that losing simply doesn't. And for me, if we can get a victory against Croatia on the back of what we did against England, I think confidence will be sky high. And we have quality players. And also, don't forget that the coach is getting to know his team at this tournament as the games are going on. Sure. He's not had a lot of friendly matches, so he's still discovering a lot of good things about his team. So I think he needs to build on the last 2 matches, build on the chemistry between the players that he's fielded. So I would field a strong team, good enough to still compete against Croatia, and try to develop and keep building the chemistry among because they haven't played together ever. And this coach hasn't had a lot of matches under his belt. So every match at this World Cup is an opportunity for the coach to discover new things about his team. And coach mentioned the issue about adversity, because if you don't play your strongest team and we go into the game against Croatia and we suddenly concede first, are you making changes to try and rescue something? That's it. Or you would rather have your strongest team and then see how they react to adversity. So I think, and I would want the coach to field his strongest team, try and get a victory against Croatia, even if we don't end up topping the group because England have also won, then we know that at least we did our job. I don't want us to lose against Croatia simply because we can end up in 3rd place and go to Kansas City with Thomas. And then what? If we beat Colombia or Portugal after that, it gets even tougher after that. And in that round, you don't have Thomas again. And then what? So, look, let's go in, field our strongest team as possible, build more chemistry, get this team to play against one of the best teams at the World Cup. They may not have started well, but Croatia are still as strong as ever. In that first half against England, they put them under a lot of pressure. So even for they themselves, they would have been coming into this game on the back of the victory against Panama. So confidence will be sky high. So you can't joke with that. You go in and all of a sudden you're 1 goal down, you're 2-0 down, and then we're all looking very silly because we've gone to play checkers and we've been checked. I don't want that. I would want to see this game played with our strongest 11 as much as possible. And if we have to, if anything at all, if we want to rest players, maybe a little later. You can, depending on how the result is going, maybe you can give Thomas some rest. You can give, I don't know, maybe bring Baba Ramanye for a few minutes, rest. Maybe also one of the centre backs, I'm not sure. Jerome Opoku, for example, he put Buddy on the line in the game against England. Maybe he can rest his legs a little bit, but I really don't want to field what looks like a weaker team against Croatia and then all of a sudden find ourselves in all kinds of trouble. Let's just try and win. Let's just be as competitive as ever. And if we get the result, fair enough. If we go in with our strongest team and we don't get a result, then all of a sudden we also start to now raise a few questions about our strongest team and see whether there are some weaknesses that we can fix going into our next game in the knockout rounds and what have you. Because even this team has not played together long enough. And for me, I think it's important to build the momentum. And changing the team up too much will be disrupting that sort of momentum, in my opinion.
Okay. Interesting thoughts. Daniel, let me take your quick thoughts before you head out to the stadium. What are you expecting? Daniel, what are you expecting from the team tonight? Final game against Croatia in terms of the group run. A ticket to the round of 32 already secured. It's a matter of where we finish in the group. What are you looking forward to seeing tonight?
Another solid defensive performance. Not saying that we should go out and go and pack the bus, but it should be a solid defensive performance. I really want another clean sheet. That's basically what I'm going there for.
Outside.
And I won't lie, I'll take a 0-0 over a 2-1 win. Like, that's how desperate I am for the clean sheet. I really, really want a clean sheet. That's just my personal preference for this game. If we can get a clean sheet and win, I'll be over the moon. But I think we need to go into the knockout rounds knowing that teams can struggle to break us down.
Okay.
Our opponents will know that they will struggle to break us down, because that will bring a certain level of desperation from the start from our opposition. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to enjoy the occasion, because this is the first time that Ghana has qualified before kicking a ball in the last game. It's never happened before. This is the last group of players that we expected it to come from. So it's credit, and I'm just going to enjoy the 90 minutes of football.
All right, guys, final question to the two of you. First, Daniel, how has it been for you personally experiencing a World Cup in the flesh for the very first time?
Oh, for me, it's a dream come true. It's not. I don't even need to lie. It's a fact. It's a dream come true. Look, for any football fan, you wish to watch a World Cup. And for me, it wasn't just watching a World Cup. I really wanted to see the Black Stars play in the World Cup, and I've seen it in flesh. And they played a game where they played really well. My debut happened in a game where the Black Stars played probably the best defensive football I've ever seen in my life. And you know how much I love defensive football.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed every moment of it, and it was worth the wait. I'm not lying.
All right. Wonderful, Daniel. We'll catch up with you later. Enjoy yourself. We'll speak again soon.
Come on, Jordan. It will go. It will go. Come on, Jordan. It will go. It will go.
Hey, no more relax.
And it will go. It will go.
34th minute.
It will. Jordan.
Fent, before you go, same question to you. How has it been for you? I mean, on a personal level, both as a journalist and as somebody who loves sports and football. How has it been for you experiencing the World Cup in the flesh?
Amazing. I think obviously covering the FIFA World Cup for every journalist is something that you dream to tick off your bucket list. And, thankfully I've been able to do this twice. I was at the last World Cup in Qatar as well. But I went after Ghana was already out of the competition. So this is the first time I'm covering Ghana at the World Cup, and it's been a surreal experience, I won't lie. And Daniel is absolutely right. It's a dream come true when you're able to cover your country around. When the pride with which you speak about your own country in a competition like this is absolutely amazing. And especially when the team is doing well and is progressing, you can have very, very adultery conversation with people, other journalists from around from around the world, meeting with new people in the mix zone, in the press conference areas, like people that, other journalists from other places that you probably follow on X. It's absolutely incredible. I had a really nice chatty conversation with David Ornstein at the England game. It was unbelievable. So, I mean, that is what we are talking about. Dream come true. The interactions you get is phenomenal. And then to see the players and their effort in real time, talking to them in the mix zone, seeing how they vibe, all the organization that goes into competitions like this, you appreciate their perspective a little bit more. And I think that's why when people get very close to the national team, they cover them more, they're a little bit less critical.
Yeah.
Because you see things and you see certain sacrifices that the ordinary person from outside or someone that's not had the privilege of access can, will do or will say. So you tend to be a little bit considerate when criticizing the players. But I think by and large, it's an amazing experience. I won't lie.
All right, Fent, thank you so much. Enjoy yourself. We'll catch you hopefully tomorrow, because we record another pod tomorrow. So hopefully we should catch you then, reviewing Ghana, Croatia, and then we see where the path takes us. We'll have clarity on who we face, and then tomorrow we can have a deeper conversation.
2 messages from me.
Absolutely.
2 messages. One to the controller. Tell him that he should always remember that he's in charge. He should run the show. And to Jordan, tell Jordan, Akechi, I want to jubilate to his goal. It will go, it will go, so that I will jubilate. Simplicity.
No problem. Coach, don't you also have a message for Jonas Ajeti?
He's my boy.
Apologize for being.
No. As for Ajete, after the World's game, then you see that was the game he played with confidence, and since then, there's no looking back. I've told him that he should see the mistake ahead of him. If there are problems there, bim, under no problem. Take the time and pass. Simple.
If this is program,
bim.
No program.
Control and pass.
All right, friends. Take care. All the best, and we'll catch up later.
Yes, man. Thank you, guys.
Great. That was Fento Tahir. Before him, you heard Daniel Cranting. They all joined us from the US. They are on the ground covering the World Cup.
No more.
Quite interesting. Chris, let me read a couple of comments, and then we can quickly wrap it up with your own thoughts on the game that we'll experience in a few hours. This one says, I'm watching from Angola. I never miss Coach Nimli's analysis. I can see Ghana beating Croatia 2-1. And let's see our opponent in the round of 32. Asante should start ahead of Jordan. This one says, Coach Keros should start those who are yet to play a game. This one says, Brandon Thomas Asante over Ayew. Ghana to draw with Croatia. And this one says, thank you, Jupay, with the love heart. Yes, I mean, the person loves Jupay. You should love Jupay too. Sign up, download the app from the App Store, Play Store, start using Jupay, send money all over the place, and you love it. There are promo codes that you can use, Coach, Fento, or Nathan. It's right there on your screens, either on your PC or your phone, wherever you are watching this podcast. If you use any of these promo codes, you get a $5 discount on your very first Jupay transaction when you send $100. Let me go through a few more messages. This one says, a draw is acceptable for Croatia. Finishing third in Group L is better than second or first. Easier path to the final, in my opinion, especially if third plays Colombia. Guys, Colombia is not an easy team to play.
They're very difficult.
Let's not think that they are an easy team. Anyway, this one is saying Coach Keros should not start Jordan and Iñaki together. They offer nothing offensively. Okay. This one says, I still love how Jordan plays. He holds up the ball. He draws fouls. He should not necessarily score. Chris, so those are somebody's thoughts.
You see, it's not all time he has to draw fouls. Which striker plays like that? Draw fouls. Draw fouls when you can pass the ball for us to go and score.
Okay.
You are waiting to be fouled. What is that?
Let me go through this final two. Jordan is a striker, not a left back. He should score and assist, not pass the ball backwards when his teammates are moving
forward
on a fast break. This one says, Coach, I think you are being hard on one player. Semenyo, Iñaki, Prince Edu, and Nyama are all not scoring. Okay, so they say that, why are you singling out Jordan?
Semenyo, this is his second World Cup. Semenyo first World Cup, he came and he was playing 2 minutes, 3 minutes. He was playing 10 minutes. Jordan, this is his third World Cup. He's had only one shot on target. If you are not worried as a result of that, then I don't know how you're thinking about football is.
All right, Chris, let me get your thoughts on Croatia v Ghana. Tactically, what do you think is the best way to approach this?
Nathan,
how should we play this game? Knowing that we've already qualified, but the issue is, in which direction are we going?
I really don't mind. I really don't care.
Okay, you finish and then we take a break.
I really don't care. I think the people of Ghana will decide what is pleasing to them. Okay, I really don't care. But what as a coach, if I was in the position of Carlos Queiroz, I wouldn't set my team up to lose. Because in major tournament like this, when you lose a game, bouncing back is very difficult.
Okay.
But when you establish a momentum, that means that you are getting used to winning. It means you don't see losing as an option.
Okay.
And that is most likely to guarantee you progress into the tournament. So
Okay.
I want them to go out there and win the game. No two ways about that. Win the game. Whoever is put before us, Colombia, Portugal, this is the tournament. The group stage is done. It's done with. We are going to the business end of the tournament where you will not be given a second opportunity. We all cannot have the same pathway to Cana. So that happens to be our path. Let's accept it. And I've always believed that you don't need to have the best team to win a major tournament. We could give several examples of teams that won major tournament and they were not the best on paper. It's about a team sport. It's about the tactical instruction and direction of the coach. If you get your tactics right and your players believe that that is the way to do it, they will go and do it. What I've seen of this coach is that he's gotten the players to believe. They are not hoping that by doing what they are doing, they'll get the result. They believe that when we do it this way, that is what guarantees us the result. So continue to believe. Against Croatia today, do I expect the Blasters to go out and be expansive? No.
Okay.
The Croatians themselves are aware that they need a win to survive in the tournament, right?
Yeah.
If they realize that there is a change in the Portugal game, meaning that one team is, because if the two teams were to draw, they'll both go on what, 5 points.
Yeah.
If Croatia win, they go 6.
They go 6.
So it depends on the result. So whilst they are playing against the Black Stars,
But
they'll be following.
Yeah, but Portugal will play after Croatia. They are not playing at the same time. It's
No.
only England and Panama who play at the same time.
Sorry. I'm referring to the England
Panama
game.
yeah.
That game, England with all their arrogance will want to top the group.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So because they want to top the group, they will now want to make sure they beat Panama and beat them with cheeky ease. So what the Black Stars needs to do is to go out there and make sure they don't get beat against what? Croatia. If you can go out there and not get beat, it means second spot is what? Sealed. Look, everybody know my stance on Thomas Partey. If I have my way, I will say, let's play for the presence of Thomas Partey.
Okay.
But because if we have him in the next game, we are most likely won't having a game in the next other game. You ask yourself, as a coach, what do you want? Partey himself will want the team to win. Because when the team wins, without him, like they did against Panama, it establishes a winning mentality.
Okay.
And that is good for the progress of the team in the tournament. What we need to do, I don't expect to see any wholesale changes.
Okay.
I expect again to see Benjamin Sarin go. We are to maintain the same back four. If there's going to be a change in the back four, then I'll introduce Upon Prepper to test his partnership with Jonas Ajete.
Okay.
Because Jerome had a lot of physical contact. If he's fully fit and there are no knocks in and around him, start him. After 70 minutes, pull him out and throw on Pepra. Let's see how he pairs with Jonas Ajete. In midfield, clearly, I don't know what the rules of the game says. Is the rule saying that in case Kelemirechi was to get a booking, is he ruled out of the
round of 32?
Round of 32.
We'll have to find out.
If you can do that for me, I'll be grateful. Because he
has one
yellow card from the first game.
Yeah.
If a second yellow card to him is going to rule him out, then I'll not start him.
Okay.
Or if I start him, it's going to be he needs to be spoken to, and he'll be told that do not get yourself in any crunch tackle. That will mean that you are going to get booked, because the ball is actually the engine and the workaholic in the setup. Up front, look. If this is what I would have done, I would have start Semenyo on the left, Asante through the middle, and then I will start Christopher Bonsuban as the only player who hasn't kicked the ball to start on the right.
Okay, so you're asking about yellow cards, right?
Yes.
So this is what FIFA is saying. So they are saying that to accommodate the expanded 48-team tournament, FIFA has updated its disciplinary regulations to feature what they call 2 amnesty resets. Now,
That's right.
Single yellow cards are erased both after the group stage and again after the quarterfinals, meaning they won't go into the knockout stages.
Then.
However, there are some important details to take note of. 1, if a player receives 2 yellow cards across 2 different matches in the group, they receive a 1-match suspension for the round of 32.
So if Kalinichi were to get booked, can you imagine the Black Stars in Toronto without Thomas Partey and Kalinichi? Absolute disaster.
Okay.
Absolute complete disaster. So again, Charlie, we have qualified already. If I'm the coach, I'm not going to start him. Because of this rule, if I'm the coach of the Black Stars, I will not start Kalinichi. I will not even think about playing him at all. Because if we were to win the game and he gets booked, both him and Thomas Partey will not be in Toronto.
Okay.
You see the midfield of this team. You don't want to depend on Elisha and we are finished. So because of the rule that you just read, the yellow card rule, I will not play E13 at all.
Okay.
So I will not be surprised if Carlos Queiroz and his technical team decide not to start the young.
So yeah,
I will not be surprised.
So it is true. If you have one yellow card, let's say on match day 1, and then match day 3, you pick another yellow card, you are suspended for the round of 32. However, if, for example, you pick up
only
your first yellow card
and you didn't get any other,
yes,
when you go to run, you start from a clean sheet.
from 0, or you already have one.
I will prefer Kalinichi start a clean sheet of yellow cards in the round of 32. We have qualified though. That must be made clear to everybody watching the podcast. The Black Stars is already in the round of 32, awaiting either to play against Portugal or Colombia. That is what today's game is going to determine. Period. Simplicity. Nothing more, nothing less. So now you should be looking to the future. Although the coach talks about playing it game at a time, but some of these rules should inform your decision as to what to do. And if I am the one in charge, I repeat, Kalinichi or Kalinichi will not play any role whatsoever. If Thomas Partey is not going to be missed if we go to Toronto, then I'll play.
Okay.
Then I'll play the 3 of them. Irenchi will play. Because I know in his absence, I can bring somebody alongside Thomas Partey and they will do a job.
Okay.
So, look, we need to score goals, so Nathan Kwao. As I sit here today, nobody can tell me that if you are a striker, your fundamental responsibility is not to pass the ball, is to hold up play until you get far. No coaching instruction will tell the striker that if you hold the ball, we are not attacking. So hold the ball out until you are fouled. Hey, what is that? What sort of coaching is that? Hold the ball and pass to your teammate and let them pass and let them progress. Turn around and join them. Are you saying that you've not seen a team that has been structured to defend? But when they see an attacking option, they go and attack and score. We've seen this several times. I'm not sure that what the coach said meant that the Black Stars, we are not going to attack. It did not mean that if there is an attacking opportunity, we should ignore it.
Okay.
I don't think so. So at the end of the day, he holds up the ball right. But I'm also saying it is not a coincidence that we are a more dangerous team when Jordan is not on the pitch. I'm not picking on him. I'm doing Ghana. That which will help Ghana is what I'm doing.
Okay.
Jordan is an integral member of this team. There may be times in the game where his quality, if I'm the coach, I use him when I've got something to protect. When there's a lead to protect, then he comes in the hold of the play, get foul, take the steam out of the game, calm everybody down, and then we start. You see, the more games are restarted, the advantage to the team with the lead, right?
Yeah.
That is the way it works.
Okay.
But not when we've got players running in space. Then we are told that you are not supposed to attack. So hold the ball until you are fouled. What sort of coaching is that? What sort of coaching? That cannot be the case.
Okay.
So for me, if he's going to play, Charlie, the point of if he's going to play, he should do the same. When he holds up the play, pass the ball, pass it to the players. Nathan, how many times have we not seen Jordan hold on to the ball when there's a simple passing?
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
he knows it.
That's true.
That is the point some of us are making. And when you do that, you take look. Semenyo, he will run, he will come back. Inaki Williams, he will run. When the pass doesn't go, he will come back. Do you know the energy they burn back?
Yeah. I mean, Asamoah has spoken a lot about
astronomical.
Strikers,
running
bending out,
and then
running,
the pass not coming. You have to recycle the reset. Look, it's the most annoying thing to do if you're a striker. They rather prefer they running and the attempt is being made and the ball intercepted.
Yeah.
They are motivated that if I keep running, the pass will definitely find me,
Yeah.
and I will do my thing. That's the point I'm making.
All right.
So Semenyo, Christopher Bonsu-Ban, and then of course Asante. Let us see that one. Let us see that one. We've qualified already. We should see that one and see how it goes.
All right, this is still the Jupay Podcast. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we open the lines so you can give us a call, and then we take your thoughts, predictions ahead of Croatia v Ghana, and then we'll try and wrap it up. We'll be back on Sunday to talk about Croatia v Ghana.
Sunday tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. So we'll be back tomorrow, but that is tomorrow. So that's a little. But tonight, we want you to give us a call. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take your calls and then we wrap it up. This is the Jupay Podcast Live. My name is Nathan. I'm here with Coach Christopher Nimley. This podcast is proudly powered by Jupay, your number one money remittance service. If you want to meet the need, send it via Jupay. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Send money home with no headaches. With smiles on the faces of loved ones. It's convenient, fast and easy. Try me Jupay. Jupay has the best rates on market. We hope you make the most of your money. Meet a need, send via Jupay. Try me Jupay.
I'm here with Coach Christopher Nimley. You can send in your calls. You can share your calls or give us a call. Send in your comments. Would love to hear from you. Would
Today is the game, so
no, obviously no. I mean, there's no way anybody can get a ticket. You know, unless maybe they are calling us from outside the stadium. But even that is impossible. You can give us a call. Would love to hear from you. Would like to hear your thoughts on Croatia v Ghana, the Black Stars. What have you made of them so far? How far do you think they can go? And, just anything around the national team, right? Let me know. Give us a call. You can equally send in your comments. The comments will be shared with us in a bit. My production team will do that. But give us a call. I think we have a caller on the line. Do we have a caller on the line? All right. Hello? 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 Okay, all right. We'll see if we can reconnect with the caller. This is the Jupay Podcast Live. Give us a call. Would love to hear from you. Croatia will take on Ghana in a few hours, in about 3 hours. 3 hours or so in Ghana. That game is 9 p.m. in Ghana. Fent was telling us it's what 5 p.m. where they are.
Yeah.
So the game will be played 5 p.m. Boston time. Is 9 p.m. in Ghana, and then I'm sure it will be played at different times in other parts of the world, depending on what's happening. So yeah, you can give us a call. Would love to hear from you. The numbers, I think the number is on the stream. I'm not sure, but you can give us a call. Would love to certainly hear from you on the Jupay Podcast Live. I think we have a caller on the line. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Nathan.
Yes, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Isaac calling from. I'm even at work, but then I'm listening to you guys and I said, please call quickly.
Oh, all right. Where are you calling us from? We couldn't hear that part.
From Brighton and Hove, please.
From Brighton and
from
Hove.
Brighton and Hove.
From
That's
the South
good,
Coast. All right, please. Let's hear from you.
No more minga boy.
No more.
In small stand, the
No more. You are 054 553 9770. 054 553 9770.
054
553
9553
054 553 9770.
9770. Yeah, I know you are done.
Oh, I know you later.
My trouble.
Now go there.
Sorry. I think I've heard all you've said, and I do believe that for now we've played 2 games. We know our defensive solidarity. It is now time for us to see how we can be potent when it comes to our attack. Coach have said, you could see that it is important that we now see how we're able to attack based on our transitions. Going into the knockout phase, you need to now protect something. You can't play 0-0 and go all the way to extra time. And then when it comes to penalties, it's everybody's game. But if you're able to have a good attack and you're able to at least have a goal or 2, you have something to protect. You now believe that you can sit back and protect your advantage.
Okay.
But if we are just sitting back, not protecting anything, then all we're doing is that we're going to progress through the latter stages of the game, but then it becomes everyone's game. And that is where I believe that the coach should start looking at how we'll be able to be potent up front, starting from the Croatia game. They are a good team. They have a good midfield with experience. However, they don't have the legs. And it's important that we're able to make sure that our quick transitions pay off today with Semenyo, with Bonsuba, and with Thomas. Even in the last game against England, I must tell you that if it was Asante that led the attack, when the other guy was brought in, we would have scored. Because he is far quicker than the other striker from Eastern Europe. I've forgotten his name.
No, Prince Kwabnedu.
Prince
Kwabnedu, you can see that Asante is far quicker than him. When you look at the chances he got between he and Pickford, if it was Asante, he would have picked the ball straight away.
Yeah.
I don't know if coach would agree with me.
Yeah. I agree with you.
The second one as well.
That one,
when you look at the way that movement, that second chance would have put it away because he's quick. He might have brought Semenyo home.
Okay.
So I think that's where the coach made a mistake by not bringing him, because he had the pace to be able to outrun the defensive line of the English.
Okay.
And I believe that this time we should be able to bring him on and see how we're able to structure our pattern of attack for the knockout stages. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. This is still the Jupay Podcast Live. Give us a call. I'd love to hear from you. I want to know what you think of the Black Stars ahead of that game against Croatia. The Black Stars have made it through to the round of 32. That is sure. We have a place in there. The challenge now is where the Black Stars finishes and who they are potentially going to face in the round of 32. So you can give us a call. Let's talk a bit about the Black Stars before we get into that game against Croatia. Hello.
Hi, Nathan.
Yes.
Good evening in Ghana, right? And good afternoon here.
Yes. What's
My
your
name
name
is
and where
Richard.
are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Toronto. My name is Richard.
All right.
You are calling from Toronto.
Yeah, I'm calling from Toronto.
Toronto. Okay.
Funny enough, the last time you were sharing the ticket, I called several times. I couldn't get you, but today I got a call.
Sorry.
Too bad. Anyway,
That's fine.
please go ahead
That's
with your comment.
Yeah, first, I just want to say that good discussions. Just a little, advice to coach. Coach, we love you, right? We love your discussions. We love your analysis and all. But sometimes when others are, making their inputs, just let them flow. It makes the discussion nice. So I respectfully, if you could do that, it will really help. The other thing I wanted to say was that to this match, I think that we should go all out. I don't think we should hold back. Just like Coach was saying, we've already qualified. So let's kind of let that fear be in the other team that we can equally score. We shouldn't just defend, as if we have something to lose. We have already qualified. So let's go all out and score. I believe that the coach should go with that mentality. And just like you said about the Caleb Bianchi's case, I don't think we should play him today. We should rest some of the players, honestly. And he's one player I think we should rest so that we can use the other ones that we have. I haven't seen Bonsugban played. I don't know. So, players like that can go on board and, let them also show what they're capable of. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that call. We'll take 3 more calls and then we'll call it an evening. Let us know. Give us a call. Send in your comments. We'd love to hear from you on the Jupay Podcast Live. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. I think we have a caller on the line. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Yeah, Nathan, my name is Benjamin. I'm calling from China.
Oh,
Shanghai,
I see.
China.
You're calling from
where? China.
Yeah.
Ni hao.
It's actually ni hao.
Ni hao it is.
Ni hao is
Actually, 1
hello.
a.m. Yeah, I stayed up to listen to you guys.
Okay,
Wow.
ni hao.
Okay, thank you so much. Wow.
Ni hao.
Ni hao, coach.
Ni hao.
We really appreciate this. Please go
yeah.
ahead.
Wow.
What have you got to tell us?
Yeah, I think partly what I wanted to say is what the last caller also said. Coach has been making some brilliant submissions on this show, and I've been watching. But respectfully, I also think that sometimes the friendship that you guys have, because you guys are friends already, sometimes it's like you're having a friendly conversation and, like we're attacking each other, like we're playful and all that. But we are enjoying the show, but sometimes it distracts it a bit. So if
Those
the
things
moderating can,
are part of
check
the show.
so that
It's a
at least-
podcast. It's a
Could you say?
podcast. I said those things will happen when there's a podcast.
Yeah, I know. I know. We love
so
it.
don't-
Sometimes,
so
like
don't
you
dwell
said,
so
you
much
allow
on
the
that.
others to.
It's a podcast. They also do
Yeah,
it to me, right?
I know, coach. I
Don't
know.
they do it to me?
Yeah.
And they also do
Yeah,
it to
I
me.
agree with you. I agree with
It's a
you.
podcast.
My name is Benjamin.
Okay. All right, Benjamin. Thank you so much for your call. Really appreciate
Yeah, so
that. Yeah.
and then on the Black Stars game, I think I agree with the thing that coach said. I think we go all out, and then the coach gets opportunity to see the team if we go down or something like that. So that's brilliant from all the things that coach said. But coach, go down small, Jordan.
No
Go
more.
down small.
It will go. How? Are you not in favor that he should score?
Eba will go.
I will go. I will go. It was 3 World Cups. It will go one go. It will one go. No one.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for your call.
Thank you,
so
guys.
much.
Thank you.
All right. Let's take 2 more calls and then we'll call it an evening. This is still the Jupay Podcast Live. I think we have a caller on the line. Hello.
Hello. Oh,
Yes.
finally, Nathan. I
Hi.
got in touch with you.
So-
Stanley, I'm calling from Philadelphia. You guys, I've been waiting for you guys to come and give us tickets. You saw in Boston. They warmed us.
He said what?
Anyways,
Forgive the ticket.
they were warmed us at Boston. Yes. I've been waiting for, I was thinking you're going to from Friday so that we can get some time, on Saturday. We have our jerseys ready, going to support the Black Stars. But anyways, I'm Stanley calling from Philadelphia.
All right, Stanley,
So
yeah.
that's what I think about the game. Before Carlos Queiroz, we had no identity.
Yes.
And as much as we love the flamboyant football, see, I love it that we have an identity now. And I say, let's stick to it. See, now every team will be afraid of us because they know if you're playing with Ghana, it's like you're playing with Arsenal. We are not coming anywhere. You play the ball, we'll counter, and we'll score. Moreover, we are going into the knockout stages. We don't need goals. We need to defend. practice the penalties very well, and we'll, yeah.
You say we don't need goals?
Everybody in the box. Oh, we don't need goals.
No.
Goals. Defend.
You need goals to win
Let
games.
me tell you something. Just a second. You see, in a game of football,
you only need goals to get 3 points.
You know what?
3 points in the group stages.
Yeah,
Let
but
me
in the
tell you
knockout
something.
stage, knockout stage,
Now,
you
normally-
need goals to eliminate the opponents, right?
usually in football.
Or you go to penalties.
But what is our history? What is our history? Ghana's history. Do you know that Ghana's history is one of the worst
In
in terms of international football penalties?
I think sometimes we forget where we are coming from. We came into this tournament as one of the least ranked teams. Everyone thought we were going to be the whipping boys. So if we want to open and play, it will be like Austria. we have to be careful. We came with very low estimations, very low hopes, and now we are defending. And I'm sure if Portugal meets Ghana, they'll be scared. They know we are not coming out to play. We are just staying put. And if it's going to drag to penalties,
yeah, but the point is, you see, I like the optimism and everything, but in knockout stage football, you do have to win a game. You cannot hope to rely on penalties to proceed. It's not like Ghana. We have this amazing history with penalty kicks. Our penalty kicks history in international football is one of the worst.
And in Nathan, let me just add this. Nobody's saying Ghana should move away from the defensive shape. No. Keep that shape. But the system requires that we play on the transition.
We have to play on the break.
So when there's an opportunity to
We go and
attack. The moment we lose the ball in the attacking third, we come back and keep our defensive shape.
Yeah.
That is all that we are saying. We need to begin
I
to
agree
show
with that.
something on the
Yes.
attacking side of the game. You can't be defensive throughout. No.
I agree with that. I think the coach has a strategy which is mapped out. First half, frustrate the team as much as he can. Second half, try and move very well on the transition. And we cannot see that. First half, and the second half, he wants to open up a little bit and move on the transition. And for me, it's a good plan. If it gives us a win, we are all in for it.
Yeah.
But Nathan, we need the tickets. We need to go support them. Come on,
You need
Nathan.
the ticket.
You need that. Well, that's not in our hands. We'll have to tell the people at Jupay. That's beyond our pay grade. So we'll have to tell the
Please
higher
tell
ups.
them. We are some few minutes away.
No more
from
Sean.
the
We'll be a
stadium.
government ticket.
Sean, the people say they
No
need
more Sean.
tickets,
We'll be a
so
government.
what can we do? We podcast hosts there. We can't give tickets. Anyway, all right. Thank you so much for your call.
Okay, all right,
Thank you. All right. Let's
right.
take our final caller, and then we'll call it an evening. In the meantime, let me just run through some of the round of 32 games that have been confirmed for everybody. South Africa, Canada is the very first round of 32 game.
That's on Sunday.
Yes. Brazil, Japan.
That's going to be a beautiful
Yeah.
game.
Germany, Paraguay. That's on Monday night at 8:30.
Another proper game.
And then Tuesday morning at 1 a.m., Netherlands, Morocco, which is my favorite
I will
game.
stay up and watch
It's a lovely game. Cote d'Ivoire, Norway, 5 p.m. France, Sweden, 9 p.m. And then Mexico taking on the third place team in either Group C, E, F, H, or I. And then you have the winner of Ghana's Group L, taking on the third place team in either Groups A, E, H, I, J, and K.
Wow.
Then Belgium will take on the third place team in either Groups A, E, H, I, or J. And then the USA will take on Bosnia. Spain will take on the second place team in Group J. The second place team in Group K, so that game, Spain and that second place team is at 7 p.m., right? At 11 p.m., the second place team in Group K, which is Portugal's group, will take on the second place team in Group L, which is Ghana's group. So that could be Ghana. Friday morning, 3 a.m., it is Switzerland versus the third place team in either groups E, F, G, I, or J. At 6 p.m. is Australia versus Egypt. 10 p.m. is Argentina versus Cape Verde.
Wow.
And then on Saturday, July 4, the winner of Group K will take on the third place team in either groups D, E, I, J, or L. That completes the round of 32. So the round of 32 will be completed Saturday morning, Saturday 4th July at 1:30 a.m. 1:30 a.m. So those are the games for the round of 32. By the time tonight's games are done and early morning Sunday, we'll have an idea of all the matches. And
all
then
the permutations.
Sunday when we come here, we'll run through all the matches.
That's right.
I think let's see if we can take a final caller before we head out. Hello? Hello? All right, I think we have a caller. Hello?
Hey, Nathan. Hey, Coach. How you guys doing?
Yes,
we're doing good, my brother.
We are fine. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Nanajima, I'm calling from Denver, Colorado.
All right,
Colorado.
Nanajima, you're calling us from the
Denver,
Mile High
Colorado.
City in Denver.
Mile High City.
The Mile High City.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Please go ahead.
So my first point I want to make is that why has the Black Stars camp been turned into a circus?
Sankambio. This thing, I said this thing somewhere.
Too many people.
Too many people.
Too many
celebrities.
No more celebrities in America for.
A shock. Hello, King Promise Maker, or Clive Maker, the Alena Abidjan. Okay, then, Sambi Sabio, Ghana, footballers on
You know, I understand this is part of our culture, but Charlie,
No. My brother, hold on. My brother, hold on. This is not part of our culture. The Ghanaian culture is unique. Our culture is not to be taking musicians into our camp when our boys are preparing for battle on our behalf. It has never been part of our culture. It is the management.
For this battle, 200,000 each.
That is it. The management of the team is bad. We've got management members.
Okay.
What are they managing if they cannot manage this? My brother, continue.
Nothing. and on top of it was Yao Dabo on a national broadcast telling coach change Jordan. Why? You a coach. Can this because we allowed Yabo and all of those guys to just go there
just like
and giving unnecessary advice.
And do you know what they are doing? They are
number 2.
Wait.
Go ahead, coach.
You know what they are doing? When they do that, they are building their own content. They're going to put it on their Instagram. They are making money. What sort of rubbish is that?
And make money. Yes. That is true.
What sort of rubbish is that?
That one day I don't like it at all. At all. Coach number 2, the sports minister. Look, it's now. He bought for 1,000. No. I can tell you an authority, and I'm not making allegations, Keku. I have proof. NDC form, they've shared it amongst them and they are selling it to Ghanaians. So remember that Boston game where there was a lot of fans outside.
Okay, you know what? I beg you. As for these kinds of comments that are higher ups, I beg you. So let's just move away from that because the higher ups are Jupay
I would draw. And lastly, coach, I want to say, please don't take any advice from anybody. Please,
it's a podcast.
Exactly.
Sana Misubanti. Ubeti ati onti ajaiti. Oh, no one for Mokoda. Jordan ya woko. Eya ni awoko awo. Kenya woko ajelemi.
The tournaments, no go. You are not making somebody funny. Come on. Do we pay for him to on which striker? No, or
blocky.
Come on. A foul merchant. Coach, you don't listen to anybody. You like to get the way you are, please. The advice, man. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you so
That's caller.
Oh, man. That's our final caller. Anyway, that's how we wrap it up on the Jupay podcast for today. Chris, thank you so much.
Charlie, it's always a pleasure. Tomorrow we are back here.
Tomorrow we are back. And by the time we come back, the round of 32 fixtures will all be set. Then we can preview the round of 32. We'll review Croatia v Ghana and start to think about the next game. Whichever opponent it is, we'll know. And we'll see how things go. Chris, thank you so much. We'll catch you later.
That's right.
And thank you to you out there for watching and for tuning in live. This has been the Jupay Podcast Live. Many shouts to my production team, Sean and Chris, the camera, light, sound people.
Sean will be a commentator ticket. Evelyn
for bringing us these lovely drinks and refreshments from Auntie Lou. No more multi. So Auntie Lou, for those who are wondering, this is like, if you want, this is Auntie Lou, right?
Auntie Lou.
So, Auntie Lou. So please, show it to them. Auntie Lou.
Auntie Lou, this is the package.
If you want to get a quick bite, you are in town, you want to get a quick bite, go to Auntie Lou. Find Auntie Lou at any Jupay service station, any Jupay filling station. Auntie Lou is there. She's
got some delicious jollof rice and wache as well. Look, they are
wonderful.
fantastic food. You eat and you know that yes, this one there.
Wonderful. Wonderful. My name is Nathan Kwa. Many shouts to Daniel Cranting and Fenton Tahir for joining us. We'll bring them back tomorrow, hopefully, to review Croatia v Ghana. We'll catch you on the next episode, which is live tomorrow. Same time. Join us. Let's have fun. Enjoy the game. All the best of the Black Stars. We'll catch you later. This has been the Jupay Podcast Live. We'll see you on the next episode. Have a good evening.